Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video all about why I didn't like university. If I had a penny for every time I tried to start this video, got halfway through, chickened out, stopped filming, or even completed the video, started editing it, chickened out and deleted it all, I'd probably have about 15 pennies in my cupped hands because I've done that about 15 times by now. I think my mistake every single time is that I give too much detail and I'm just not really comfortable with doing that. Like, I feel like on YouTube these days everyone's very open and with a lot of things that are actually really good to be open about, you know, like mental health and all that jazz. But I feel like some things, it's okay, if you're an introvert, sometimes it's just good to keep things to your close circles. So I'm not going to give as much detail as I did in my previous attempts because I actually want to finish this video and upload it because I promised people I would. But this is going to be more of a general overview of why I didn't personally like uni, because this time of year people are going off to uni and this is the first time in a while that I am not doing that. I graduated this summer from a 3-year course from the University of Nottingham, and this is not to bash the University of Nottingham, like they do really well in the league tables. It's a really lovely city. It's a very, if you're on the business campus, like they're really keen on innovation and sustainability, and it's a good business school, don't get me wrong. I just personally, I think a lot of it was, I had bad luck and it was just bad timing of me going to uni. I think if I went now I'd have a much better time. So I'm not trying to put anyone off going to uni. I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to go to uni. I don't necessarily regret it because I feel like I've learned a lot, but I do think that whatever you do in your early 20s, late teens, you learn a lot anyway, you know, whether that's go to work or go into an apprenticeship, whatever it is you do. I feel like it's just a very formative learning time for all of us. It's great, it's fun. But yeah, I'm going to rattle off the reasons why I didn't like university. Or should I give some detail about myself first? I'll give a little bit of background detail. So basically I went to the University of Nottingham, like I mentioned, for a 3-year course in business. I was on the business school campus and I was not staying on campus in terms of first year on campus halls, which are like the cool halls. I actually stayed on some halls near the business campus because business school and the main campus are separate. Probably should have mentioned that, but yeah, I was over here, main campus was over here, and I was actually in flats which are not very social. You're kind of confined to like 4 or 5 people, whereas in halls it's kind of like a long corridor with all these doors coming off, and it's a lot more social, and that's what a lot of my friends had. But I didn't want to be catered. If you're on campus you have to be catered, and I'm vegan, so yeah, it was just more convenient to have go to some other halls, and I think that was probably my first mistake because I didn't click with anyone in my flat. So yeah, the first reason why I didn't like university is I didn't have any friends, and you don't have to only be friends with people in your flat. Like, there are so many chances to make friends at uni. A lot of it is luck. I will say a lot of it is luck, and who you bump into, who you meet, who's on your course, what kind of course you're on, what kind of city you're in, what kind of interests you have. But yeah, didn't click with anyone in my flat, didn't really make any friends on my course, and that was mainly because like the first few months of first year I wasn't, like, some stuff happened back at home, like personal stuff, but then also I was on Roaccutane, so I was like, it messed me up like mentally. It was not the best time of my life. I wouldn't recommend it. It's basically a drug to clear your skin. It helps get rid of acne. It has physical side effects which are pretty horrible, like you have constant flu, cold kind of symptoms, you have achy joints, but mentally, oh my goodness, like I was so anxious. I was already a bit socially anxious, but oh my goodness, like I couldn't finish the course of that drug. It was nasty. It's a very intense drug. I'm very surprised it's still on the market because the amount of people who, not everyone has the mental health like issue side effect of it, but I definitely did. Like, first year was a real struggle, not gonna lie to you, and it was like a culmination of things. So I wasn't feeling great, like mentally, physically. I couldn't drink, so it made it quite hard to be sort of, you don't have to drink in club and stuff, but because I was on this drug I literally couldn't drink. You can make friends not in clubs, don't get me wrong. I don't even like clubbing, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but you know what I mean, like freshers is like, go out. But yeah, so the first few months I didn't make any friends, and then once people have made their groups, oh my gosh, is it hard to tap into friendship groups and cliques once they've already been made, especially when you're a shy person and you're an introvert and you keep to yourself usually. Oh golly, yeah, I basically didn't make any friends, so that's the first reason why I didn't like uni. And obviously you don't have to just make your friends in first year, like you can make really good friends in second year, third year, don't get me wrong, it's not the be all and end all, but for me, I didn't make any friends. So that's the first reason why I didn't like uni. And that leads on to the second reason why I didn't like uni. It was a very, very, very lonely experience, and I've never really heard people talk about student loneliness before, but it's a real thing and it's real horrible. I only really ever thought about loneliness when it comes to old people, you know, old people on their own at Christmas who maybe don't have any relatives, don't have any families come visit them. But it's not an old people thing, like anyone can experience loneliness, and I think that student loneliness needs to be talked about a lot more. Like, you're in a new city, if you don't have any friends like I did, it's a very isolating existence, you know. I spent so much of those 3 years on my own, and it kind of, yeah, it knocked my confidence a bit, because I'd never really struggled making friends. I've always been fine. I've always had a really good friendship group. At school I was fine, you know, primary school, secondary school, never, it wasn't a problem. But yeah, for some reason, because I was like really socially isolated, but at the same time I was really socially anxious, so I was like juggling these two things. Like, I'm miserable because I don't have any friends, but also too scared to make friends. I joined some societies, and I was actually on the committee for Blog Sock Society, which was the blogging society. The girls on that committee were so nice, and I saw them like for meetings and stuff, and they were all really lovely, but they, you know, they all had their own things going on. I'm not trying to scare anyone and say that you're definitely going to experience loneliness if you go to uni, but I just never hear anyone talk about it. My whole time at uni, I saw it being talked about once, and that was in someone's campaign. It was actually as I was leaving, I was doing my finals exams, and I saw on the back of a door someone's campaign to be welfare officer they were going to try and tackle student loneliness, and that was the first time I'd ever heard anybody talk about it, and I just felt like such an idiot. All of my friends were having an amazing time at uni, and there I was, so alone and miserable. And also on my course, like when I first started, I had no idea about business. I'd never done, because I actually applied originally to do nutrition, and then I switched courses. I deferred, so basically I applied to do nutrition because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I've always done really sciencey subjects, and I've always been told that I'm really good at science. Like, I was in accelerated science, so I did my GCSEs early, and I got this random biology award for being the best at biology in the year, which was actually so weird now I think about it. Like, I was alright, I was okay at biology, but I wasn't like the best in the year, you know. So yeah, I just applied to do nutrition because I was interested in it, but then I deferred my placement for a year. And then I started an apprenticeship, that didn't work out, so then I just started working full time. During the week I worked in customer service, at the weekend I worked at John Lewis, and then in the evenings I babysat, so I was just saving up money to go to uni. And yeah, then in the summer of the year before I went to uni, I changed my place to business, and I had no previous, I just basically wanted to do something that I'd get a job out of, and I ended up liking the course, but at first it was very mathsy, very like economics, and I didn't do maths A level. I knew nothing about economics. I knew very little about business, and I just felt very stupid. Like, everyone around me in lectures and seminars knew what they were talking about because they probably already did business for A level, or they knew quite a lot about it, so it took a while for me to catch up. But yeah, it meant I wasn't really liking the course. Like, management accounting and financial accounting, I just don't like that. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't want to be an accountant. Didn't sign up to do an accounting degree, I have to say. Don't know why I had to do those, but you know what, it was all part of a learning curve. But yeah, didn't really like my course that much. Had very little friends, no friends in fact. Didn't have a friendship group, didn't get on with anyone in my flat. Not that I didn't get on, like, this is nothing against anyone I met at uni, but we just didn't click. We have very different humour, very different interests. We just weren't, like, at school we wouldn't have been in the same group. Not in a mean way, but you know where there's people in your year at school, let's say, who you don't not like, you have nothing against at all, but you just know, like, you don't have anything in common, you're not gonna run in the same circles. So yeah, didn't click with anyone, was very lonely. There's very little routine at uni. This is the third reason why I didn't like uni. Very little routine. Like, I went from having a full-time job, like working all the time, to just having a very open calendar, like 5 contact hours a week or whatever it was. You don't have a lot going on. It's a lot of self-motivated study, and I don't think I'm all that self-motivated. It wasn't so much the self-motivated study part of things, it was more that there was just no routine, no structure to your day. I kept trying to get a part-time job. I went around Nottingham about 5 or 6 times handing out CVs, and I got nothing back, and I feel like that also knocked my confidence a bit. Like, why does nobody want to hire me? I had a job when I came back home for summer, but yeah, it just, I don't know, a part-time job would have probably really done me well, because you can very easily fall off the grid. This is maybe reason number 4. Like, if you don't have a group of friends, if you don't have people that aren't going to notice whether you go to uni or not, like, you can very easily just not leave the house and get into really bad cycles. And yeah, I've learned that I need routine in my life. Like, the uni layout per se is not for me. Layout, is that the word? Structure, like the design of uni, where it's just kind of like, come, go, do as you please, like that freedom. I flourish in that kind of situation, let's just put it that way. Reason number 5 maybe kind of links in with that as well, and it's that the uni doesn't really care about you. And again, this is not bashing the University of Nottingham, like I think that it's a lovely place. I think that a lot of the lecturers there are so good. Like there's a handful of lecturers that I still remember their names. It hasn't even been that long, but like it's been like 3 months or whatever, but like I remember their names, I remember like what they taught us. They were such good teachers. And yeah, the business school is good. I'm not bashing the business school, I'm not bashing anyone I met there, but I'm just saying like university in general, it's not like a community feel, if you know what I mean. You're not forced to be with people every day, therefore it's difficult to make friends, therefore it's difficult to feel like you're part of something. But also I think, again, I was just quite unlucky in terms of like my personal tutor, for example. She was a very awkward lady. Obviously I'm not going to name names, but she was quite an awkward person, but also didn't really care. You could tell that she didn't really care. Like basically, if you don't know what your personal tutor is, you're supposed to meet with them and check that you're on track, and if you have any problems you go to them, and you're assigned them at the beginning of first year and then you have them throughout uni, which is quite a nice idea, isn't it? My one, she just didn't care. Like she gave me the wrong exam results, she sent me home, and then she had to call me later saying, oh, I gave you the wrong exam results. Didn't say sorry, but she was like, can you come back in? So I did, got my actual exam results, which is an easy mistake, but she didn't even say sorry. Like she didn't. Is it an easy mistake? Is that an easy mistake to give someone their wrong exam results? I don't know. I don't know if it is. She was probably a very clever lady, but she just wasn't so great with like the support, you know. Like I was going to drop out in first year. I was miserable. I was so depressed when it got to the summertime. Also, I was really upset because my second semester of first year, I was supposed to go to Dublin to study. Like it was just a semester abroad that I was supposed to be doing, but I was so anxious, I just couldn't do it. And I'm still really upset about that. Like I was so set on going, and yeah, I just couldn't go, which is fine. Like it's fine, it's just a bit frustrating, you know. But yeah, like it got to summer and I wasn't eating properly, I wasn't sleeping. Anyone who knows me knows that I just wasn't sleeping. I struggled with sleeping throughout uni. I wasn't even washing. Like I physically ate. I was so set on dropping out. I emailed my personal tutor saying, please can I have a meeting with you? She didn't reply, so I said, please can I have a meeting with you, I'm thinking of dropping out. She didn't reply. Then I asked her again, and I think I even tried to call her, but yeah, I asked her again, and then she said, sorry, I can't help you, you just have to go to student services. She just wasn't helpful at all. And like I say, I was just not in a good place, and I wanted to drop out, and I just didn't feel any support at all. And I think it sucks because I do think a lot of students feel this way. I know people personally in my life who also had a bad time at uni. They didn't feel supported by the uni at all. I think that the university now is more run like a business than it is a community culture, and I think that's just like a separate issue. But yeah, what reason am I on that I didn't like uni? Oh yeah, community feel was non-existent, and I basically came home after my last exam. I left my exams early. I did them for the sake of it, you know, before I was planning on dropping out. And then I came home and I still felt just as bad. And that's, you know, I thought I was going to come home and it was just all going to be fine again. And it wasn't. And I had to go to the doctors and like I came off this drug and got put on some antidepressants because I was just depressed. Like it was horrible. I felt really trapped, really anxious all the time. Like I had suffered with panic attacks throughout the year. It was just a rough first year. Like it was just rough, like I'm not gonna lie to you. It was bad timing, it was unlucky, and I think that threw me out of whack for the rest of my time at uni. It was a bit of like a situational thing. Like every time I went back I felt a lot of dread, I didn't feel good, and it wasn't my time. It just wasn't my time, you know. It wasn't the time of my life that I was sold, and that's fine, like absolutely fine. I'm still really grateful for the things I learned in terms of on the course. A lot of the modules I still really liked. I did well in the end, like I did it. I struggled. It wasn't great, it wasn't the best time of my life, but I did it. I came out the other side, and it's not the be all and end all. Like if anyone is struggling at uni, please realise that if you can't drop out, if you need this degree to do what you want to do, or your parents won't let you drop out, or whatever it is that stops you from dropping out, because there's no shame in dropping out at all. But if you're struggling at uni, like you're not the only one. You only see other people's highlight reels. They have to, even if someone has a really, really good time at uni, there are always going to be bad parts. Like you only see on social media the best parts of people's uni experience, and there should be no shame in feeling lonely or feeling like you're not having the time of your life. Like that's fine. You shouldn't be told like you should be having the time of your life and you're not. And yeah, that's just something I want to set straight. I think that's all the main reasons why I personally didn't like uni. But also I didn't I didn't feel comfortable with anyone that I lived with, and just because I didn't click with them, I never felt settled, if you know what I mean. And that's nothing against those people, I just always felt quite on edge, and again, that was just a reflection of me being me. It takes me a long time to kind of be my true self around people. But yeah, those are the main reasons why I didn't like uni. I think that's everything. If I think of any other reasons, I'll let you know. If you want to see more positive reasons why I did like uni, I do have a hashtag on my Instagram, which I'll leave on the screen. It's like reasons why uni didn't completely suck. There were some nice parts to living in Nottingham. I do like Nottingham. Despite all of that, I still like Nottingham, and I feel like that says a lot. So yeah, that's that for this video. It was a little bit of a different one. Sorry if it was a bit awkward at stages, but I was a little bit nervous to film it. Like I said, it's taken me a few attempts. But yeah, I hope you got something out of it. If you're going to uni for the first time, then I wish you all the best. I wish you good luck with your studies. And yeah, it's not the be all and end all, but if you have a good time, then that's always a bonus. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.